chocolate or caramel.
Swirl.
Uh-huh.
Was that something the ladies fixed the pizza or they made it in?
No, it was donated by some, they came in masses.
Okay.
I don't know if that's, I know there was one of the candidates that's running for something, was paying lunch one day. So that,
Well, that one was really appreciated there.
so that may have been what that
Good.
was.
All right. Any other
I
comments?
think it was like school board election something.
I was curious about, so I was looking through the budget, and some of the things seem kind of high comparative to what we budgeted, like dues, fees, travel.
Let me look. I mean, without looking at it broke down, I don't know what all was included in that other than.
I mean, because kind of overall, we're
so
doing
what
okay. I
usually
was
is
just
covered
kinda
in that
curious.
is,
Oh my gosh. My phone is on silent. I don't know what's going on. Just like when somebody had control of my,
your mouse on your.
a mouse on my computer screen.
So dues, fees, and travel generally, Jamie, is what we pay for the group that delivers meals to the other communities.
Okay.
So we probably have went over in that. I mean, the main thing I look at is bottom line.
Right.
Where
And
I'm
that's
at.
kind of what I looked
And
at,
then
and then going back, I was like, some
And
of
then
these-
going into next year, I'll look at those line items and try to change where I see them going over. But most likely that is the mileage that we're paying. We still don't get any assistance. We pay drivers to deliver all the meals all over the county
the meals are paid for through
for the Office on Aging.
right,
But we still have to pay
Pay.
mileage for
and that's probably
somebody.
gone up significantly.
And we usually do the IRS rate.
Yeah.
So we still have to pay, and we're still not, I think the city of Norwood still sends us a small amount to help cover that cost. But the city of Mansfield and the city of Hartville still doesn't give us anything towards the meals that we deliver. And we deliver them Mansfield, Hartville, everywhere in Wright County. We have somebody that delivers meals. Because part of having the center is that's what we do, is we provide the service, not just
Yeah.
for the city of Mountain Grove, but we provide it for the whole county. It's always been something. When I was there, I went to the other towns and to their city council meetings and asked if they would be willing to give money towards it, but
So we're the only, like, this center is the only thing of its kind in
the
all of
county,
Wright County?
yes.
That's good. There is a senior center in Hartville, but recently they've not been doing meals. Did
They're
they
not-
just started since they
But
quit?
they're not sanctioned by the Office on Aging.
Oh,
So they're just a locally owned senior center that they do meals to just kind of help support their senior center. But they're not
Okay.
an Office on Aging center that does the meal program or does the meals. Now, they did, in the past, they used to, when we had a driver over that way, they had freezers in there and they would let us keep some of our freezer meals there. And then people would pick them up there. So they have helped us in that way over there, but they're not actually sanctioned by the Office on Aging.
I don't think they're doing many meals
It's,
recently.
it's probably hard with
Oh, it is. yeah.
with food costs the way they are. They probably can't charge enough to really make money off of it. But I know they used to have a really good program where they did meals, I think 2 or 3 days a week over there.
Yeah. Just since I've known, the last couple of years, they did 2 days a week. They're
Yeah,
trying to do it.
Yeah. But I think they were paying somebody to come in and do it, and that probably got pricey too. But I think mainly they do it to help pay for the insurance and stuff on their building and to keep the building open.
That's
Mhm.
probably right. Okay.
But we'll look at that, Jamie, and see, but I'm going to assume that's from the meal delivery.
Yeah.
It'd still be so nice. We got to think there's a way eventually for us to get as much as we do here in like some other towns do and get more of that paid for by grants.
It would be nice if they would at
eventually.
least, if we could look at, so what we did before was kind of give them an idea of the percentage of the meals that goes countywide. You know, the biggest majority of the food is your daily meal program, and we do deliver to a lot here in town. But we have, what is on her report? Let me look.
If they would just pay to
Thank-
deliver the meals in their town, in their area, that'd help.
Yeah,
Even if
just
they
the
pay a percentage
percentage,
of that.
just the percentage of what the mileage would be.
And that
So
goes
home
back to-
delivered, we do 2,681 home delivered meals, and probably more than half of that's going to be out in the county.
You may have already touched on this while I was messing with my phone, but do we still have all volunteers for in-town deliveries?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't pay any of the people that deliver in town.
Unless
And that
But
would
they're
on
help.
these,
magnet,
the amount of
obviously.
mileage and stuff that's involved for somebody to deliver, because they take them to the homes. You can't ask somebody to do that for nothing.
I did some delivery out in the sticks, if you will, for for our dinner, for the city, or the holiday dinner. And it just, it's a lot to go
It's a
out in
lot.
some of those very remote areas. I think I'm very proud of what we do
Yeah,
for our
for
seniors
sure.
in this town, and the fact that we have such a far reach, I think is just outstanding. So I think it was good to just recognize how far we go to
Yeah.
fulfill those needs. So, well, thank you for
If
clarifying.
the other
that.
towns would just kick in a
It
little
would
bit,
be
you could
nice
see
to have
that
a little
line
bit of
item go down.
support, right? We could and we could probably do a little bit more, I would guess, in
I
those
still think
areas if we had even more
Even
support.
above the other towns, this Office on Aging, wherever it comes, that's where I wish we could get. I know you do what you can.
We've
but I
tried
just
to get them to adjust the
Eventually.
budget for that, and
That's where I think would, yeah.
we specifically asked for just an increase just in that area to help cover the mileage cost, and they wouldn't give it
Not
to
yet,
us.
yeah.
And is that an annual thing that you
Every 3
can,
years.
every 3 years? Gotcha.
And they don't, I mean, they're not,
Hopefully
they don't have to, so
Down
they,
in them, they can, like we said, the other
So,
towns do.
the reason why
can
we get a little
100%
bit
funded.
treated a little bit different too is, so the Office on Aging, they have direct sites and they have indirect sites. We're an indirect site because we're owned by the city. In a lot of the counties, the Office on Aging, the people that work in the senior center are actually Office on Aging employees. There's only
That's
two
right,
in this
okay.
area that are operated like ours, where the city owns it and the employees are city employees, and that's us and Mountain View.
So do you think the question, like in the future, if it ever came up where we could switch, would we want to do it the other way? Or is there enough pros of doing it our way that it's
It's not
worth
been
the
an
cost?
option to switch because they didn't have the budget for it.
So I just wonder if, 3 years, whatever, when it comes up, if it would be an option. I don't know. I'm
I
just
don't know
let
that
you
they would
know.
even
They're like, if they
entertain
like how it's going, they're not gonna.
Yeah, if they can get you to operate it.
Well, yeah.
why not?
So now that we've done it, we may not.
and you have to compare the service to,
Yeah.
Zach, that's the
Right,
other
right.
thing too, is, I mean, they're a government agency, here it's more
Yeah,
personal.
I'm sure it'd be, that's what we'd have to decide if it was an option. Was it worth the extra, approximately 250,000 extra we have to pay toward it? That would be the question. Yeah, well, obviously, if it went way down, we wouldn't want to do it, but.
It would be,
Just
it would be a huge
thought.
change from what we
Yeah.
are used to doing in our center. But it is, we are different.
But that does make sense. I mean, I know you've kind of explained it and it doesn't really clicks, but I got you.
Okay, all right, thank you. Next thing is Citizen Advisory Committee. Cheyenne Smith's here. And Cheyenne, can you flip that mic over and make sure, do you turn it on, Danny? Okay, yes, go ahead.
Screen. Okay. So our board met last Monday on March 3rd. Our topic of discussion was the use tax. And on the summary, you can see here, we were in agreement that there's not time to solicit this for this year's election, and we need time to educate the community on this. So waiting until next year, we feel like is very important. It being on the ballot before, we're not going to have enough time to educate people if we don't give it the time to do so. And it is something that we agree as a board we do need to see. Kind of in a summary, we feel like we need to use one graphic. I know transparency is a big issue that we struggle with, but having one clear graphic that's approved by you guys with visionary, it shows on here on the minutes talking about pictures of new roads or a pool or whatever it may be, but we need a clear picture and image that we could use to put in the paper, to make copies of, to take to the Chamber of Commerce meeting if they're on board for helping with assist this. They meet once a month. There's several business owners that come in, pass them out there, see if they're willing to take it to their businesses and distribute it. But the important part is going to be educating people so they understand what it does and understanding that they're not going to be taxed more if they go to Walmart and see an extra tax on there. And a lot of people think that. There's been a lot of Facebook debates, negativity, yes, just here recently from it being mentioned at the last council meeting. And trying to educate people who don't understand it, it's going to take time for them to not be defensive and to accept that if we want to see our city grow and we want these nice things, we're going to have to continue to grow as well. And that's part of it. Chamber of Commerce, Lions Club, the school board, senior center, you guys were talking about that meal. Our board is okay with us business members coming together and sponsoring a meal for them, hosting, a webinar or a seminar for them, explaining, inviting the public, because we need to get the word out and help them to understand what it means. Because if they're not educated on it, they're going to pass and they're going to say no. Who wants to be taxed more? So we came up with a lovely little slogan, pay to save Mountain Grove. Our recommendation was that the council comes up with 3 important things they feel like this new, not it being new tax in general, but new to Mountain Grove tax, what you feel that would be important to allot this tax for. Our recommendations were new roads, city water park pool, and possible new attractions that you feel are important you need to add in. Of course, that is up to you guys. We understand the wording on the ballot. You cannot list it for a specific thing and you cannot change it. So we're going to have to put that on our visual flyer for people to understand when they see that wording, what it means, and not to freak out and be scared. And so with educating them on that and using those visuals and not changing the visual in 6 months and making a new flyer, it being approved and we stick with it so it's very clear transparency in all the ways that we try to distribute it throughout the city so we can get this passed. With that being said, sticking to 3 things that you agree, we understand that can be hard. And when it's hard to solicit something and say it's just for this. So we have to be very open about it and say it can be used for these things, but basically trying to get people to understand it's for improvement of Mountain Grove. And that's something that our board is willing to do. We're willing to go to all of these meetings and advocate for it. That's something we agreed we would take turns doing. As long as you understand that we have a clear understanding of what the tax is. We don't want to be misleading to people. So with that being said, we do agree and we are willing to help you proceed with this. And you just need to let us know what we need to do next. But we would like to get that flyer out as soon as possible and start spreading the word. So is there any questions over our meeting?
When you said that you talked about next year, do you mean this next election in November?
Yes.
Or do you mean next
It
year
would be
in
next
April?
April, a year from now.
I wonder, that's something to think about too. Would we have a better shot in a November election or an April election? I don't know. Less people in April that usually, but that could be
I'm not,
to our benefit or not.
yeah, it could be. I'm not sure on what those numbers are for April versus November. Do we have statistics on that?
That's true this year.
It wouldn't be as much in November. My only other thing is we would have to put it on the ballot in August, so that doesn't give you very much time. We're already in March.
Okay.
That only gives you until August till you
So August would
actually put
be,
it on the ballot. I'm kind of in agreement with them that it would be better. if we could
yeah,
do
being
it
that it's
and
August,
Give
yeah.
give it plenty of time,
How many times has it been on the ballot before? Twice?
twice.
Do you remember, were they both Aprils?
I'm pretty sure.
Not positive, but probably.
I think one.
That's what I recall.
Yeah, I was
April, okay.
It seems like we did one of them in November. I think one
I think-
was in April.
I think we run it November 1st and then we run it the following April. Pretty close
Maybe.
together. And
It
it
was
was,
pretty
yeah.
close together.
What was the percentage last 2 times?
I don't
It was
remember.
closer
It's
the
pretty-
last time than the first.
Yeah.
Seems like it was like 350 to 220 or something like that.
And if we understood correctly, the last time it was on the ballot, there was also other taxes being raised at the same time. And that we felt like that's probably what had the most negative impact on it at the time, other than the being uneducated and not knowing what it was for and them thinking they're going to be taxed at Walmart again on their groceries and not just online sales.
This is great. I think you
I
guys
think
have a
we
lot
have
of
some
good.
graphics that
this
they can
time.
use in some other communities where they passed it, so maybe I can try to have that at the next meeting and we can kind of look at some of those and pick something out that might come along what you're talking about. Maybe our IT person, he's not in here. He can help me.
You sent me some things too. You sent me a folder of, and I don't know if you sent it to everybody or just me because I've been
I got a copy
bringing
of
it
that,
up.
yeah.
Did you get it too? So yeah, just some like AI generated like ideas of different videos and things that you can use to promote it that are easy to put together. Could be a way to, like you said, have that consistency in messaging and just have multiple ways to which that can be shared. Obviously in person, digitally, online, like all the ways so we can get the word out so that people understand what exactly it is and how
Yes.
it's going to be applied. So
We agree, and the transparency on that, we feel, is a lot of the kickback we get. So if we have that same image, like you said, whether it's Facebook, the newspaper, or they picked it up at a business off the storefront, they're gonna say, I've seen that. I've seen that multiple times for the last month. And I think that consistency is really what's gonna help sell it, in regards to the benefit of also saying, oh, we could have this for our children. We can have this, nobody wants to be taxed more, but if you give them a positive outlook on it and help them try to understand what it's going to benefit our community for, I think they'll jump on board. But it's definitely going to take some time and education.
On Friday to add to the agenda. So that's public, that's everybody. So we just can't close it out until after noon on Friday. So then we send it out. Since we have moved the meeting up, you could change that a day or two. I mean, honestly, that's up to you.
Change it to Thursday at noon. and
that's what I'm thinking, is at least give us a little bit more time in
Right.
between.
So-
So
I guess I have a question, council, is 2 days on a weekend not enough time to review is that a problem for everybody?
It's a major problem. I'm gone on the weekend.
Okay.
I holiday a lot.
Well,
I think the problem for me is that if I want to come talk to Becky about something or get a little bit more information, if I get it on a Friday afternoon and then our meetings are Monday night, I work Monday through Friday. It's harder for me to just like pop in and try, like, it doesn't give me enough time.
So can you do it, if you do it on
If I
Thursday,
get
she
it
can
on
come in on Friday?
Thursday, then
She
yeah,
can come in and talk on Friday. right?
Yeah.
Friday's better than Monday.
definitely, 100%.
But, so you,
me two choices.
Better for me too.
So you-
wasn't.
Well, there you go. It's better for Becky too. If her,
Mondays.
I'm sure Mondays are crazy for a lot of people.
so we have a motion to change it from Friday noon to Thursday
Really?
noon?
I'll just bring an
Ordinance.
ordinance back to the next meeting and you guys you want first and second reading the same meeting or? First reading only? First and second reading.
I would be okay with that. I know we
Okay.
talked about trying not to do that a whole bunch because of the pressure, but if this is an easy one for everybody.
Well, we need a motion to do that
Today.
and have first, and do first and second. We should put in the motion to change it. We're gonna do that.
Okay. Up to you.
So we'll make a
Motion.
motion.
I move,
Okay.
move the deadline to noon Thursday.
And have a first and second reading the next meeting.
And then we'll have the first and second reading next meeting.
I think it's important that everybody's in agreement. Have a second?
Since we discussed it now, this one,
Have a second?
yeah, second,
Mark seconded.
Yeah.
Mark, how you vote?
yeah.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Home Serve Program Second Reading, Bill 2025-02. Motion to proceed.
I'll make that motion.
Have a second? Mark, how you vote?
Yep.
Yes.
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 Yes. And ordinance amending section 38-30 being the water sewer rebate service plan of the city of Mount Missouri by amending section 38-30 and adding the rebate service.
Motion to approve.
Make that motion.
Have a motion?
Second.
Second.
Now, if this is going to start, did we send out the letters notifying
No,
people?
because you had passed it yet.
Okay, so then would it be right that it's not gonna start on the 10th of March?
It will not.
So, okay.
We're gonna start this at the
Okay,
beginning of the next fiscal year, or you gonna do it now?
because it does say that in here, so that.
Well, it means the ordinance goes into effect. We'll have
Oh,
to know,
okay.
we'll have to send it out. So we're always a month behind on billing. So we'll just have to kind of do that with the billing cycle.
Okay, all right. that's
It'll
my
go into
question.
effect as of the 10th, yes.
We have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Mark, how you vote?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Page 2. Special event grant, Becky.
You all created this special event grant and, one of the main reasons was to try to help some of our local groups that, have to pay for insurance costs, when they have the events. And this was a way to kind of, help them. You have copies of all the applications in front of you.
The deadline was March 1st, but is this going into our budget, in our budget meetings?
Well, for this year, I'll have to amend the budget to include this because this will be,
These
Some of
expenses
these-
before June?
some of these will be, some may not. Let's see, let me look.
I think, maybe the only one, the veteran.
Veterans is in November.
Let's see.
We got one in August.
Some of these are for the Heritage Festival, so that won't take
That's
place
August.
until August, so we
That's
can do it
after.
after July 1.
That's after May 17th.
No, it will all go in the next one, Dale, because they are gonna all be after July
Because of
1.
the team, yeah.
There's a truck pull in May, second to last one.
August. And then the May.
Oh, the fundraiser for the.
May.
I guess I feel off balance, and I don't know what our budget was for the whole year for that last year compared to that.
It's not been a budget item.
Yeah.
This is new. It'll have to be in our budget for the next year. We'll have to amend anything that's happening before July.
Before, just
I'm sorry.
before, like from the Chamber of Commerce, this, how it,
Those are budgeted.
yeah.
Those are budgeted. This is new.
These mini grants are new.
The mini grants you already do.
Right.
Those are in the
Right.
budget.
These
The special event is something you just voted on.
Although we already had helped Heritage Festival, but that was taken out of another account than the mini grants, right? I mean, that might be what Dale's saying, just trying to figure out where the past money, totaling everything that or something.
Do what now?
The Heritage Festival money come out of general revenue.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
It was not a budget item, it's come out of general revenue.
Correct.
And that's why it's going to be budgeted. It will be a budgeted item, it'll be a line item.
All of these will be covered. I mean, we will create a line item for the special event grant.
How big a line item?
I mean, it depends on how much you guys want to.
Depends on how much it's approved.
That's why you guys are getting all the applications. You gotta approve them.
Well, can you, remind us of what the ones that we've talked in the past, because it's been about the same amount every year?
And most of this is to help with their insurance, and we have not done that, in the past, they've had to pay their own insurance.
Yeah, the vets parade, we have not helped them.
The other part, I know the city did something before, I think that's what you're making up there, especially.
Which one are you?
Well,
17.
Man.
No,
I
we
think that's
have,
what Carolyn's talking about, we had the
Yeah.
system, but
yes, we have helped with some stuff with Heritage Festival.
the one for the 17,000 for the stage. And then the other Heritage Festival is for the insurance for the festival, the 1,000 estimated cost. And then the,
Green's Park, insurance at Green's Park.
cover for the truck pull is 500 to 1,000. And then the insurance for Greens Park is 125 to
Well, the Greens Park one is that they're gonna, one of the fundraisers they're gonna do for Heritage Festival is the baseball movie nights at Greens
Right.
Park. And that's just to help cover the cost of the insurance for that.
And that's a separate
Right.
special event.
That's a separate, because the way this is done, I mean, you guys wanted these to be special events, and every time one of these organizations do a special event, they have to buy insurance coverage for it.
So you got the Heritage
So
Festival.
they've submitted these the way
Exactly.
we understood that you guys wanted them.
Yeah, they look good.
Yeah.
I don't see no problem with it.
And, like the Heritage Festival,
So
I
what,
mean, overall, it's 55 to 60,000 is their estimated cost of their events. And when they purchase this event insurance, it is based a lot on how many attends and what all they have at the event. So, the cost goes up a lot when they have a large attendance for the events. And we don't have any, you know, we don't have any control over that, you know, if you go through Hub or anything, they just have a checklist and you fill it out. And whatever question you answer, then that's what they base the insurance on. So if you have a large crowd, you're gonna pay a lot more money.
Is this, veteran parade, is that $200 or less? Is that for their insurance or is that
Yes.
just? Okay, that's for insurance. Well, can we just go through these at a time or you want to just have to put it in the budget or what?
I want you to approve these grant applications so that we can let these folks know what
Okay.
they've been approved.
All right, the first one there is the veteran parade, it's $200 or less. What's the council's thought for thinking on that?
I make the motion to approve it.
The $200 for the veteran parade or less? Second, all in favor? All opposed? Okay. And then,
Can I ask on the next one, Fred? Is 17 about what every year? Is that?
Well,
about what we've
let's skip that last one and do it. Let's skip the second one and do these other parts. Cause it's the big one. Yeah, cause the other one is, the one is the, Heritage Festival. That's the cost of the festival is $1,000, insurance estimated cost.
Yeah.
Have a motion to approve that.
Make a motion.
Dale, you have a question?
Yeah, do we have a year to date what we paid last year and all for the whole festival?
Well, they paid, so the group themselves.
So what did the city pay last year for all the things that we did?
We're gonna get to that on the second page, on the 17,000.
Well,
No, we're not
yeah,
gonna get
it's
to
the
that.
same
We don't have that.
event.
I mean, I don't have that.
No, they're different.
These are all just the insurance, it was three different events.
Right.
Mainly our cost was just
And this one is.
Ours
portable,
was-
portable restrooms and, you know, just staff time and stuff mainly was last year.
Then the year before, when the city gave more, and then it became a little bit of a auditing thing where we had to do it different.
Okay, back to the insurance for the Heritage Festival, $1,000. This is completely new, right? This is new, right, Becky? We didn't pay any of this insurance last year. did we?
And these are all gonna be, next, after June
Right.
fiscal year.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Well, but some of
Except
these
for
are
one.
earlier. Just-
Truck pool is-
Just the one, and
Just one
that's the
and
last one, we'll get
Yeah.
that. Let's do this one. It's $1,000 for August 8th to 9th, $1,000. From funds needed late July, that will still be within the budget, new budget year. So are you wanting to pay that $1,000 for the Heritage Festival?
Made the motion to pass.
Made the motion to pay that second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, that was done. And the next one is, the truck pull estimated to be 500 to 1,000 for the insurance for that.
Now that will have to be paid in May.
That'll have to be paid in early May. Because that is.
That'll be the
in
only
May.
one that I see
Right.
that'll be this.
That's the one that's gonna have to be a little bit earlier. So that's gonna be, and then on this one, council, you don't have to, if you say, give Becky the range from 500 to 1,000, because it may be 750, that may be 350 or
But we
550.
won't know until they fill out the
Right,
form and then
until-
we wait for.
Right. So,
Well, on this, the truck pool, you guys have. to-
I say we pledge $1 about, not, that's a, we don't know what the blood check is.
Well,
that's
they
why they got
have to-
estimated between 500 and 1,000.
They have to go
Yeah.
through their own company for the truck pool because
Yeah.
of them.
We'll just add that much to,
Right. Do you want to say maximum 1,000 or less?
exactly 1,000.
Exactly 1,000. What if it's 500?
And they got a bonus.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
all right. Five, make a motion?
At least it's a firm number.
Okay. Do I get a motion? Who made the motion?
That seems kind of odd to read it that way, but.
Dale, you,
I'll make the motion.
who made the motion for 1,000?
Yeah.
Mark second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Now on the back page, Becky, do you have to have that early too?
Which one?
The movies for July?
I mean, it's,
Will that
no,
have?
it says date funds needed is July.
Okay, all right, then that'll be up, but. So that's 125 to 250. You want to do that at 250?
Make the motion to 250.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, back to number two for the, number two is the, amount requested to cover the cost of the stage, sound system, vendors, Southwest Auto, visual, same as previous year's estimates cost 17,000.
I mean, that cost has been, that's pretty much every year that they've done the nicer stage and everything at the Coliseum.
Almost started, we had a discussion, I make a motion to approve it.
Okay,
for 17.
Debbie, how much did you, and on, how much did you raise last year and how much was your expense?
$57,000.
And you raised that much in your
Barely.
expense or that?
Like every year we start over.
Well, last year we had a donkey basketball game
Yeah.
as well, but we couldn't have one this year.
Yeah.
Did the donkey basketball game, was it worth it?
Yeah, we usually make about 5,000 to 7,000.
Okay.
Yep.
Really?
Our biggest is the truck pool.
Now, as far as your music entertainment, your band or whatever, you're gonna have another headliner. I know you don't have to say now.
They
but
did.
Oh, no,
who you gonna get him?
The Bellamy Brothers.
And they're, can I say? Yeah,
They're 20,000. And the stage cost is 17, so that's the biggest portion of it.
and then we have to provide rooms for them, that's another 600. And then we have to feed
Food,
them.
that's usually around 1,000.
Gosh, those guys are getting old. I mean, 20,000.
Was Wayne Wright a lot more? I'm curious that there, was it not?
Do what?
Yeah, was Wayne Wright a whole lot more?
Yeah, well, he was one person, no band. He was just gonna sit up there and it was 20,000.
Well, he wasn't gonna bring a band.
No band. If we were to do his band, I think it was like 35,000.
So who last year, how much was last year?
We actually got them for 12, but there was more cost with them.
Okay, well, and their schedule just fit what was coming through.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes a difference. So
But the
that-
hotel rooms also cost us almost $2,000 and
and then we have the other bands, so the warm-up band is, I forget how much that one is.
Yes.
1,500.
so then the other bands on Saturday and then opening bands, you're still looking at another $3,000 to $4,000 for them just to pay them.
It's big bucks.
It's, yeah, and then we have to provide food for the sound people. So
Yeah.
it's, it's
Have you
very,
ever considered Southern Gospel? I mean,
yeah,
Yeah,
yes, we
I mean,
actually
you
this
looked at some,
year,
haven't you? I mean, I'm not being busy, I'm just,
Do you have a suggestion? We're always open.
Yeah.
no,
for
I'm just
suggestions.
wondering, is their cost, I know you've looked, is their cost similar or?
yes, like actually, that's who we tried to get this year was Christian Gospel something. And they are way higher than anybody else.
I mean, I just,
I mean, even Peterson's last year was what, 10,000?
Well, I think it was 5,000 and that was just giving, because this is a hometown, their hometown.
Yeah.
But other than that, they're usually 20 or. Yeah,
My daughter even plans to come down from St. Louis for this year.
yeah, we've had so
She-
many people calling us.
okay, so let's get back to this. Mark, you made a motion to pay the 17
Yes.
for this, to cover the stage and everything. Any other, do we have a second?
Second.
All right, any other discussion?
We have in mind a good place in our, whatever you call it, for it to come out of, in our tourism.
It'll be in the new budget.
It'd be in the new budget.
And one idea too that we've talked about before is cracking down and make sure we're collecting sales tax from all the vendors, right, to pay, then that would pay for this.
Well, there just is an issue overall, and it's not just for Heritage Fest, it's just we have the food trucks that are
Food
coming
trucks,
into
well,
town.
yeah,
And right
yeah.
now, looking at the state
But
Department of
if
Revenue.
you set aside the fact that the food trucks and stuff aren't charging for the amount of people that go to the stores on the square,
Yeah,
go out to Walmart, or go to McDonald's, pick something up or whatever, I think we're gonna make 17,000 back easy, sales tax.
so I think
That's good.
if you look at figures that they'll tell you with, the economic development is that money will turn over 7 times in your community. The amount of
Yeah,
people come into your town.
For every dollar spent, comes back $7.
Yeah, so
Spend something like that.
I don't think you can even really know the full impact of the money creates.
I don't know, Debbie and I and the whole group. I mean,
They put a lot of time.
you get a penny, I mean, if you got paid, would you get a penny an hour? I mean, I'm
No,
like-
we work on it almost every day.
It's
A little bit every day.